There is someone right now, in this very moment, who cannot stop thinking about you. And before you dismiss this as coincidence or wishful thinking, understand that what I'm about to share goes deeper than anything you've been told about connection, attraction, or the mysterious ways souls find each other across time and space. This person wakes up with your name dancing on the edges of their consciousness. They move through their day with phantom conversations playing in their mind. Conversations with you that never happen but feel more real than the actual words they speak to others. And when night falls and silence wraps around them, you are there again, occupying a sacred space between waking and dreaming where truth lives unfiltered and raw. But here's what most people don't understand about being held captive in someone's thoughts. This isn't just about memory or attraction, or even love in the way we've been taught to recognize it. When someone truly cannot stop thinking about you, when your presence has woven itself so completely into the fabric of their mental and emotional landscape that separation feels impossible, something far more profound is occurring beneath the surface of ordinary awareness. Thoughts, you see, are not the intangible wisps of nothing we imagine them to be. They carry frequency, they pulse with energy, they create invisible threads that stretch across cities and countries, and even lifetimes, binding consciousness to consciousness in ways science is only beginning to glimpse and spirituality has always known. Every time this person thinks of you, every time your face appears in their mind's eye or your voice echoes in their memory, they are sending ripples to the energetic field that connects all living things, and those ripples reach you whether you consciously recognize them or not. Perhaps you felt it, that sudden warmth that floods your chest for no apparent reason, that inexplicable pull to check your phone, expecting their message, those moments when you swear you can feel their presence even though they're nowhere near. These are not coincidences. These are not tricks of an overactive imagination. These are the very real effects of someone's concentrated attention and emotional energy finding its way to you through channels that exist beyond the five senses we rely on so heavily. The invisible thread connecting you to this person has been spun from repeated thoughts, charged with emotion, strengthened by longing, and whether this connection brings comfort or confusion, whether it feels like a blessing or a burden, one truth remains. You are bound together in ways that transcend physical presence, and this bond is trying to tell you something essential about your journey, about theirs, and about the mysterious purpose that brought your souls into each other's orbit. Take a breath and notice what you're feeling right now, because even reading these words is activating something within you that recognizes this truth. Now, let's go deeper into the mystery, because the person who cannot stop thinking about you is actually revealing something profound, not just about their feelings, but about their entire internal landscape, their unhealed wounds, their greatest fears, and their most beautiful possibilities for growth. And here's where this becomes truly fascinating. You'll become a mirror for their consciousness, reflecting back to them exactly what they need to see about themselves, even if neither of you fully understands this dynamic yet. When someone finds themselves unable to release you from their thoughts, when you become a recurring character in the story they tell themselves about love, connection, or what could have been, they are not simply obsessed with you as a person. They are wrestling with what you represent in the architecture of their soul. Perhaps you embody a freedom they've denied themselves, or a tenderness they were taught to suppress, or a wild authenticity they've been too afraid to claim. And so their mind returns to you again and again, not because you're perfect or because you completed them in some fairy tale sense, but because you triggered an awakening they're not yet ready to fully acknowledge or integrate. This is why the intensity of their thoughts about you might actually increase with distance or time apart, because physical separation often amplifies what was always an internal journey disguised as an external attraction. Every quality they assign to you, every conversation they replay in infinite variations, every imagined future they constructed with you at the center, these are all mirrors showing them aspects of themselves they've abandoned, suppressed, or never had the courage to develop. And here's a profound truth that changes everything. Their inability to stop thinking about you is actually their soul's attempt to reclaim these lost parts of themselves, to heal the fractures that existed long before you entered their awareness, to complete a cycle of growth that was always about their own evolution, even though it feels entirely focused on you. This doesn't diminish the reality of what exists between you. The connection is absolutely real. The energy is genuinely exchanged. The bond has been forged. But it invites you to see the situation through clearer eyes, to understand that when someone cannot release you from their mental and emotional grip, they are in the midst of a spiritual transformation that you've catalyzed but cannot complete for them. You appear in their life as a teacher, a mirror, a catalyst, and the lessons you brought are still unfolding in the privacy of their consciousness, teaching them about worthiness, about vulnerability, about the courage it takes to truly see another person, and in that seeing, to finally see themselves. Recognize this pattern, and you begin to understand why some connections feel so intense yet so complicated, so magnetic yet so challenging, because they were never just about romance or relationship in the conventional sense. They were about awakening, about growth, about two souls agreeing before this lifetime to show each other exactly what needed to be healed. But how do you actually know when someone is holding you in their thoughts with such intensity that their energy reaches across whatever distance separates you? And more importantly, what do you do with this information once you recognize the signs that have been present all along, but perhaps misinterpreted or dismissed? Your body knows before your mind accepts it, because you're not just flesh and bone and electrical impulses. You are energy, consciousness, vibration, and you are constantly receiving and transmitting information through channels that exist completely outside the realm of ordinary perception. Channels that our ancestors understood intuitively, but modern life has taught us to ignore and distrust. When someone thinks of you with concentrated emotion, when your presence dominates their mental landscape, their energy signature reaches you in ways that manifest physically, emotionally, and sometimes in mysterious synchronicities that suddenly populate your daily experience. You might feel an unexpected heaviness in your chest that has no medical explanation, or conversely, a sudden lightness and joy that seem to arrive from nowhere, both sensations indicating that someone's thoughts are carrying emotional frequency that your energetic field is receiving and responding to. Dreams become particularly potent during these periods of intense focus from another. You might find this person appearing repeatedly in your sleep state, sometimes in scenarios that feel prophetic or symbolic, other times in interactions that feel more real than your waking life, because the dream realm is where consciousness connects most freely, unimpeded by the barriers and skepticism of the rational mind. Pay attention also to the sudden memories that surface without any apparent trigger. You're going about your completely ordinary day when suddenly a specific moment with this person floods your awareness with such vividness that you can smell the air from that day, feel the temperature, hear their laugh with perfect clarity, and these spontaneous memory activations often occur at the precise moment they are thinking of you, replaying those same experiences in their own mind, creating a bridge of shared focus across time and space. Technology behaves strangely too when energetic connections are particularly strong. Your phone might light up without notification, their name appears in unexpected contexts with uncanny frequency, or you experience the phenomenon of thinking about them only to have them reach out within minutes or hours. And while skeptics call this coincidence, those who understand energy recognize it as evidence of the invisible web that connects all consciousness. The most profound sign, however, is the feeling of being watched or sensed when you're alone, that awareness of presence that makes you turn around expecting to see someone, that sensation of not being truly solitary even in your most private moments. Because when someone holds you in their thoughts with genuine intensity, a part of their consciousness actually does reach you, does observe you, does maintain a connection that transcends physical proximity. Notice these signs without judgment. Observe them with curiosity, because they're your body's way of confirming what your soul already knows. You're being held in someone's awareness with a focus that creates tangible energetic effects. And this connection is communicating something essential that words have not yet found a way to express. So we arrive at the question that matters most. Why does this particular person find themselves unable to release you from their consciousness? What cosmic purpose or soul-level agreement underlies this magnetic pull that refuses to weaken with time or distance? And will you both be invited to understand through this experience that keeps drawing their thoughts back to you like a compass needle finding true north? The universe operates with an intelligence that orchestrates encounters and connections with purpose far beyond our limited human perspective. And when someone cannot stop thinking about you, when you become woven into their inner world so completely that extraction feels impossible, this is never random, never accidental, never without deeper meaning. Perhaps you entered their life at the precise moment they needed to learn something essential about themselves, about love, about trust or surrender, or the courage it takes to remain open when every past wound screams for protection and retreat. And your presence, whether brief or extended, whether culminating in relationship or remaining in the realm of possibility, initiated a transformation they are still processing, still integrating, still learning to embody, Some spiritual traditions speak of soul contracts, agreements made before we take physical form, where two consciousnesses decide to find each other in the density of human experience to serve as teachers, mirrors, catalysts for each other's evolution. And when you encounter someone who cannot stop thinking about you, you may well be experiencing the activation of such a contract, the unfolding of a destiny that was written in the space before time began. Their persistent thoughts of you might be the soul's way of keeping the connection alive because the lessons are not yet complete. The healing that needed to occur through your interaction is still in progress. The gift you came to exchange have been only partially delivered and received. Or perhaps this intense focus serves a different purpose entirely. Maybe you represent a path not taken, a version of life they glimpsed through knowing you but ultimately chose not to walk. And their inability to stop thinking about you is actually the soul's way of mourning that choice, of processing the grief that accompanies every decision where we say yes to one possibility, and therefore no to countless others. Sometimes the most profound connections come into our lives not to stay, but to show us who we are capable of becoming, to crack open the hardened places in our hearts, to prove that depth and magic and genuine seeing are possible even in a world that often feels shallow and transactional. And when such connection ends or transforms or remains unresolved, the thoughts that persist are not weakness or obsession, but rather evidence of something sacred that occurred, something that changed the trajectory of a soul's journey in ways that will echo through years and perhaps lifetimes. Understand this, and you begin to see that being held in someone's thoughts is both a privilege and a responsibility, because you have touched their life in ways that matter, ways that cannot be easily forgotten or dismissed, and whatever unfolds from here is part of a larger pattern neither of you can see in its entirety, but both of you are being guided through with invisible hands. And now we reach the moment where everything shifts, where knowledge transforms into power and awareness demands decision, because understanding that someone cannot stop thinking about you is only the beginning. What you do with this information, how you choose to respond to this energetic reality, will determine whether this connection becomes a catalyst of profound growth or a source of prolonged suffering for both of you. Here's what they don't tell you in the romantic stories or the spiritual teachings that promise soulmates and destined reunion. Not every person who thinks about you constantly is meant to be in your life. Not every energetic connection requires physical proximity or relationship to fulfill its purpose. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is honor the bond that exists while also recognizing that its highest expression might be to release it, to bless it, to allow it to exist in the realm of what was rather than forcing it into the realm of what is. The person whose thoughts return to you again and again is standing at their own crossroads, facing their own questions about what this connection means and what they're being asked to do about the feelings that won't fade. And you, whether you know or not, are also standing at a threshold, being offered a choice that will ripple forward into your future in ways you cannot yet imagine. You can choose to lean into this connection, to explore what might unfold if you acknowledge the energy that flows between you and give it space to express itself fully, understanding that this path carries both potential beauty and potential pain, that some connections are meant to teach us through joy and others through the exquisite ache of incompletion. Or you can choose to honor what exists while also maintaining boundaries, recognizing that someone's inability to release you from their thoughts does not obligate you to anything, that you are allowed to feel flattered and moved, and yet still choose differently. Still protect your own energy, still walk your own path even if it diverges from theirs. But here's what I need you to understand before this video ends. The truth that will probably surprise you more than anything I've shared so far. There's a third option that almost no one considers, a hidden path that reveals itself only to those who have truly integrated everything we've explored together. And this option changes not just your connection with this person, but your entire understanding of how souls communicate, how destiny unfolds, and what it actually means when someone cannot stop thinking about you. In the next video, I'm going to reveal what this third option is, why it holds the key to transforming the situation from confusion into clarity, and the shocking reason why everything you think you know about this connection might actually be backwards, but only if you're ready to see what's really happening beneath the surface of these persistent thoughts that refuse to fade.